Dear friends, let me ask you a simple question. What makes a woman truly confident? Is it the way she looks, the clothes she wears, or the number of people who admire her? The truth is, confidence does not come from the outside, it comes from within. It is a gift from God, nurtured through our habits, our choices, and the way we live each day. Just like a seed becomes a mighty tree when rooted deeply in the soil, a woman becomes unshakable when her life is rooted in discipline, values, and the presence of the divine. Today, I will share with you 5 habits that every woman must cultivate to live a truly confident life. My dear sisters, confidence is not arrogance, it is not ego. Confidence is the calm strength that comes from knowing who you are, why you are here, and that God is always walking beside you. A confident woman does not need to prove herself to the world because she knows her worth is not determined by people, but by the higher power who created her. Let us together explore these 5 habits that will not just make you confident, but will also help you live with grace, purpose, and inner joy. A confident woman begins her day not with the noise of the world, but with the silence of God. Before checking her phone, before running into the business of tasks, she takes a sacred pause to connect with the higher power that created her. This daily connection is like a lamp in a dark room. It doesn't change the size of the room, but it changes how clearly you can see inside it. In the same way, connecting with God does not change the world around you, but it changes how you face the world. Think about it. Every morning, the sun rises without fail. No matter how cloudy the night, no matter how dark the storm, the sun never forgets to shine. That consistency gives us hope and light. In the same way, when a woman builds the habit of connecting with God daily, she becomes like the rising sun, steady, dependable, and full of light. Her confidence grows not because life is always easy, but because she knows she is never alone in facing it. Imagine 2 women waking up in the morning. One jumps straight into her day. She checks her messages, scrolls through social media, compares her life with others, and immediately feels anxious and behind. The other woman takes 10 minutes of silence before anything else. She closes her eyes, breathes deeply, and whispers a prayer of gratitude. She says to God, "Thank you for this new day. Guide me, strengthen me, protect me." That short connection fills her heart with calmness. Now, when she faces problems later in the day, she responds with strength instead of panic, because she already rooted her heart in something higher. Which of these 2 women do you think will walk with more confidence? Connection with God is not about ritual, it is about relationship. It is like talking to your best friend, except this friend never judges you, never leaves you, and always understands you. Too often we rush to share our problems with people who may not have solutions, and then we feel disappointed. But when we share with God first, we gain the courage and wisdom to deal with people and situations more gracefully. A woman who carries God in her heart carries peace wherever she goes. Daily connection can take many forms. For some, it is prayer. For some, it is meditation. For others, it is simply sitting quietly with eyes closed, reflecting on life and listening to the whispers of the soul. The form does not matter as much as the sincerity. What matters is that you pause long enough to remember that your strength does not come from the outside world. It comes from within, where God resides. Consider a young professional woman who works in a very competitive office. Every day, she faces criticism, deadlines, and comparisons. If she starts her day without inner grounding, she might feel insecure and doubt herself. But if she begins with prayer, reminding herself, "I am guided, I am strong, I am not alone, then no matter how harsh the world becomes, she remains calm. Confidence is not the absence of challenges, it is the ability to face challenges with courage. And that courage grows stronger when it is watered daily with connection to God. Let me give you another example. A mother raising children faces constant responsibilities. She has to cook, clean, manage, teach, and sometimes she feels invisible or unappreciated. Without a moment of connection with God, she might feel exhausted, even resentful. But when she takes time, even if only 5 minutes, to pray or meditate, she gains patience. She remembers that her role is sacred, her love is divine service, and her efforts are not wasted. That remembrance gives her quiet confidence, which reflects in how she speaks to her children, how she manages her home, and how she carries herself. Confidence is not about loudness, it is about groundedness. A woman who is connected with God doesn't need to shout her worth, because her calm presence already speaks louder than words. She doesn't chase people's approval, because she knows she already has God's approval. She doesn't break under criticism, because she knows her value is not defined by others. That inner strength comes only when she builds the habit of connecting daily to the higher source of life. Think of a mobile phone. No matter how expensive, no matter how advanced, if it is not charged, it becomes useless. In the same way, no matter how talented, beautiful, or skilled a woman is, if she doesn't connect to God, her confidence will drain out quickly when life's struggles hit. But if she charges her spirit daily through prayer and reflection, she will shine with energy, power, and faith. So, my dear friends, remember this. Confidence is not built in a single day, it is built daily. Just as food nourishes the body, daily connection with God nourishes the soul. A woman who cultivates this habit walks with a glow that cannot be dimmed. Her smile has strength, her words carry weight, and her eyes reflect peace. People may not always understand where her power comes from, but she knows it comes from that sacred daily connection. And that is the first, most essential habit for a confident life. One of the most powerful habits every woman must build to live a confident life is the habit of positive self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves becomes the foundation of our confidence. People often worry about what others say to them, but the truth is, the most important voice in your life is not the one outside, it is the one inside your head. If that voice constantly criticizes, doubts, and belittles you, then even the praise of the world will never make you confident. But if that voice becomes your supporter, your encourager, your best friend, then even if the world doubts you, you will walk with strength and grace. Think of this carefully every day. From the moment you wake up to the time you sleep, you are speaking to yourself. You may not realize it, but there is always a conversation happening inside. When you look in the mirror, what do you say? When you make a mistake, what do you say? When you succeed, what do you say? These small sentences, repeated again and again, build either the walls of your insecurity or the wings of your confidence. Imagine a young student preparing for her exams. She studies hard, but when she looks at her books, she whispers to herself, "I don't think I'm smart enough. What if I fail?" These words, though spoken silently, weaken her spirit. They drain her energy and fill her heart with fear. Now imagine the same student, same situation, but this time she tells herself, "I am capable. I have prepared. God is with me and I will give my best." This simple shift in words gives her courage, and courage gives her confidence. Words are powerful because they are like seeds. If you plant seeds of doubt, you will harvest fear. If you plant seeds of hope, you will harvest confidence. That is why positive self-talk is not just a habit, it is a discipline. It requires awareness. Too often, we repeat the same negative phrases without even noticing. I am not good enough. I always fail. No one cares about me. These phrases become chains around our minds. But the moment we choose different words, I am learning, I am growing, I am loved, I am strong, we break those chains and start walking freely. Consider the life of a working woman who faces challenges at her office. Maybe her boss is demanding, maybe her colleagues are not supportive. If she constantly tells herself, I can't handle this, I'm not capable, her confidence will sink and soon she may even stop trying. But if she changes the conversation within her, reminding herself, this challenge is an opportunity to grow, I am stronger than I think. God gives me the strength to face this. Then no matter how tough her environment is, her inner voice will keep her going. Positive self-talk is not about ignoring reality. It is about interpreting reality in a way that strengthens you instead of breaking you. When you fail at something, negative self-talk says, see, you are a failure. But positive self-talk says, this was a lesson, not the end. Next time, I will do better. When you face rejection, negative self-talk says, nobody wants me. Positive self-talk says, this was not the right path, but something better is waiting for me. The situation is the same, but the story you tell yourself changes everything. Let me share a simple daily practice. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror and speak 3 positive sentences to yourself. Say, I am worthy. I am strong. I am guided. In the beginning, it may feel strange, but slowly your mind will believe it. Just like water shapes a stone when it flows over it daily, your words shape your mind when you repeat them daily. Another example is of a mother who often feels overwhelmed. She has so many responsibilities that she sometimes feels she is failing her family. If she tells herself, I am not good enough, I can't manage everything, her energy will drop. But if she shifts her self-talk to, I am doing my best, my love is enough, God sees my efforts, suddenly her heart will lighten and she will carry on with more peace. We must remember that people's words may hurt us, but they fade with time. Our own words, however, echo within us all day. If those echoes are harsh, we become our own worst enemy. But if those echoes are kind, we become our own best friend. Confidence grows not in the absence of struggle, but in the presence of supportive self-talk. Think of a gardener. If he constantly pours poison on his plants, they will die no matter how much sunlight they get. In the same way, if we constantly pour negative words into our minds, no matter how many opportunities life gives us, we will fail to blossom. But if we water our minds daily with positive self-talk, we will bloom beautifully regardless of the storms outside. So, my dear friends, cultivate the habit of speaking to yourself with kindness, courage, and hope. Let your inner voice become a source of strength, not weakness. Replace self-doubt with self-belief. Replace fear with faith. Replace criticism with encouragement. When you master this habit, your confidence will not depend on who praises you or who criticizes you. It will grow from within, steady and unshakable. And that is the secret power of positive self-talk. One of the greatest habits a confident woman develops is the habit of lifelong learning. Confidence does not come only from appearance or achievements. It comes from knowledge, from wisdom, and from the ability to keep growing every single day. A woman who learns continuously carries an inner strength that no one can take away from her, because she knows she is not limited by what she doesn't know today. she can always learn it tomorrow. Think about it. Life is a classroom, and every day is a lesson. Those who stop learning stop living. Just as water that stands still becomes stagnant, a mind that refuses to learn becomes dull and weak. But when you keep your mind open, curious, and ready to grow, you remain fresh, sharp, and full of life. That freshness is what creates confidence. A woman who learns continuously does not fear new challenges because she knows she can figure things out. Let me give you an example. Imagine a woman who never learned how to use technology. One day, her office introduces a new computer system and she feels nervous. If she says to herself, "I can't do this, I'm too old to learn," her confidence will collapse. But if she says, "This is new, but I can learn. I may take time, but I will grow," then slowly with practice, she masters it. Now instead of fear, she feels proud. Her confidence grew not because the task was easy, but because she was willing to learn. Learning is not limited to schools or universities. It is a lifelong process. A confident woman reads books, listens to wise people, observes life, and takes lessons from every situation. Even mistakes become teachers. When something goes wrong, she asks, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of blaming, she gains wisdom, and wisdom is the seed of confidence. Think of a young girl learning to ride a bicycle. The first time she falls, she may feel scared. But if she learns from the fall, "Next time, I will balance better, I will pedal stronger," she tries again. Slowly she learns, and one day she rides with freedom and joy. That same principle applies to life. Confidence comes when we see every failure not as an end, but as a teacher. Another example, a woman raising children may feel overwhelmed, especially with her first child. She might think she doesn't know how to manage everything. But over time, by learning from other mothers, from books, and from her own experiences, she becomes more skilled. With each lesson, her confidence as a mother grows. That is the beauty of lifelong learning. It transforms nervousness into strength. A powerful aspect of learning is humility. A truly confident woman does not think she knows everything. She has the humility to accept that there is always more to learn. And because she is humble, she listens, she observes, she grows. Arrogance blocks learning, but humility opens the door to endless wisdom. Let us also understand that learning is not only about academic knowledge, it is about emotional and spiritual growth too. A woman may learn patience by dealing with difficult people. She may learn compassion by helping someone in pain. She may learn resilience by surviving hardships. Every experience in life carries a lesson, and those who are willing to learn from them become stronger and more confident. Think of nature. A tree grows year after year, never stopping until the end of its life. If it stopped growing, it would die. In the same way, a woman who stops learning becomes stuck, while one who keeps learning continues to blossom at every stage of life. Whether she is young or old, single or married, working or retired, there is always something new to learn. Learning also gives independence. A woman who learns new skills does not need to wait for others to solve her problems. She can handle things herself. This independence is what builds unshakable confidence. For example, a woman who learns financial management can make decisions without fear. A woman who learns communication skills can express herself clearly. A woman who learns spiritual wisdom can face challenges with calmness. Knowledge is power, and power brings confidence. Let me share another story. A woman once told me that she was terrified of public speaking. She avoided it all her life. But one day, she decided to learn. She attended classes, practiced in front of a mirror, and started speaking in small groups. Slowly, Her fear faded, and today she speaks confidently to large audiences. The key was not talent, it was her willingness to learn. That habit changed her life. So, my dear friends, never stop being a student. Carry a notebook for life. Read a few pages of wisdom every day. Learn from people you admire. Ask questions. Be curious. The more you learn, the more confident you become. Because knowledge gives clarity, and clarity removes fear. Fear comes from the unknown, but learning makes the unknown familiar. Confidence is not about knowing everything. It is about knowing you can always learn what you need. That belief makes a woman fearless. When challenges come, she doesn't say, I can't. She says, I don't know yet, but I will learn. And that attitude turns every obstacle into an opportunity. Lifelong learning is the fuel of growth. It keeps the mind young, the spirit strong, and the heart confident. A woman who embraces this habit shines at every stage of her journey because she is always expanding, always improving, always becoming the best version of herself. That is the true power of lifelong learning. Gratitude is one of the most powerful habits that builds unshakable confidence in a woman's life. Gratitude is not just saying thank you with words. It is a deep realization that everything you already have is a blessing from God. When a woman learns to live with gratitude, she no longer feels insecure by comparing herself with others. She no longer wastes her energy on what is missing because her heart is overflowing with appreciation for what is already present. And this attitude of gratitude makes her stand tall with confidence because she knows she is already rich in ways that truly matter. Think of two women walking through the same garden. One looks at the flowers and complains, "Why are there so many thorns?" The other looks at the same flowers and smiles, "How beautiful these roses are, even with thorns." The garden is the same, but their perspectives are different. Gratitude is about choosing to see the roses, not the thorns. And a woman who sees roses, even in difficulties, becomes strong and confident because she carries joy within her heart. Let me share a simple daily life example. A young professional may complain, "My job is so stressful. My boss is difficult. My colleagues don't support me." She walks into the office already tired and negative. But another woman in the same office may wake up and say, "I am thankful to God that I have a job when many people are still searching. I am thankful that I can learn something today, even if it's from a difficult boss. I am thankful that this job supports my family." Her gratitude changes the way she carries herself. She enters the office with a smile, with energy, with calmness. And that makes her more confident in handling challenges. Gratitude changes not the situation, but the strength with which you face it. Many women lose confidence because of constant comparison. They see someone with better clothes, a bigger house, a more glamorous life, and they feel small. But gratitude is the antidote to comparison. When you thank God for your own blessings, your health, your loved ones, your abilities, you realize that you are not less, you are simply different. A grateful heart knows that happiness does not come from having what others have, but from appreciating what you already hold in your hands. That realization makes you walk with dignity and peace. Think of a mother who feels tired of daily household chores. She cooks, cleans, cares for children, and sometimes feels invisible. If she only focuses on the burden, she may lose her joy. But if she shifts her heart to gratitude, she may think, "I am grateful that I have food to cook, for many do not. I am grateful that I have a home to clean, for some sleep under the open sky. I am grateful that I have children to care for some long for that blessing." Suddenly, Her daily work is not a burden but an offering, and she carries herself with pride and confidence. Gratitude transforms duty into devotion. Another example, a woman may go through tough times financially. She may not be able to buy the things she desires. If she constantly complains, her spirit will break. But if she tells herself, even in this situation, I am thankful for the roof above my head, for the meal on my plate, for the strength God gives me to keep moving, she will remain strong. Gratitude is like a shield. It protects your confidence even when circumstances are difficult. Confidence does not grow in a heart full of complaints. Complaints drain energy. Gratitude, on the other hand, fills the heart with strength. A woman who practices gratitude daily radiates a calm glow. People around her feel inspired because she carries joy that does not depend on external possessions. She becomes magnetic because true confidence is not about showing off what you have. It is about appreciating and honoring what you already hold. Gratitude also deepens spiritual strength. When you thank God each morning for simple things, the breath in your lungs, the sunrise, the people in your life, you remind yourself that you are cared for, protected, and guided. That awareness makes you walk through the day with a quiet confidence, knowing you are never abandoned. Gratitude is the bridge between your heart and the divine, and when that bridge is strong, your confidence becomes unshakable. Let me give you another picture. Imagine a woman facing rejection, perhaps in a relationship, perhaps in her career. At first, she feels hurt. But instead of drowning in self-pity, she chooses gratitude. She thanks God for closing a door that was not meant for her. She thanks God for the lessons learned. She thanks God for the strength to move forward. That gratitude turns her rejection into redirection. Now, instead of walking with fear, she walks with confidence because she trusts that everything is happening for her highest good. Gratitude is also a daily practice. Just as we eat food every day to nourish our body, we must feed our soul with gratitude daily. One simple practice is to write down 3 things every night that you are thankful for. They may be small: a smile from a stranger, a good meal, a kind word, but they shift your focus to abundance instead of lack. Over time, this habit rewires your mind to always look for blessings, even in the middle of storms. So, my dear friends, remember this truth. A grateful woman is a confident woman. She does not walk with the burden of comparison. She does not shrink under the weight of complaints. She walks with her head held high because she knows her life is already filled with countless blessings. Gratitude gives her peace, and peace gives her confidence. And when a woman carries both gratitude and confidence in her heart, she becomes unstoppable.